guys are having a wonderful day, as usual. If you'd like to get a hold of me, you have my contact information in the description. The truth about raising kids. This one's tricky because it's very simple, very logical, but hard to take in. It basically comes down to two concepts. Number one, we have in Judaism what's called nachas, something that brings us joy, like when we see a child being born or taking their first steps. Then we have something else. We have happiness, we have joy. Now, the problem is that most people mistake their nachas with their happiness. So that when they go through issues, let's say somebody gets alienated from their children are making trouble, they're not living up to the parent's expectation, whatever it may be, the parent loses their happiness. But the problem is that there's a flaw in the parent because they should be able to be happy even though they're missing that aspect of nachas. Sure, it's a beautiful thing to have in addition, but it shouldn't be the defining factor. The next thing is that a child is your ultimate guest. Too many times, especially in the previous generations, we see that people raise their children with these expectations, but more than that, with the anger and the frustration and the letdown that comes along when the child doesn't live up to what the parent expects. But sure, it's our job to raise them and put them on the right path, but all they are is our longest standing guest. Eventually, God willing, we hope that they move on and move out, build their own life, a successful one. But in the meantime, they're there in our home, they're using our stuff, they're sitting at our table, they're sleeping in our beds. They have everything that we offer a guest, but to the maximum. And when a person adjusts their point of view to see their child as a guest, something happens where a person starts to realize that they are so gifted, so lucky. How many people don't have children, whether they can't or they're not married or whatever the reason? And yet you have parents that are angry and frustrated and blowing up. It's a little bit of an adjustment in a person's mind when they realize that their child should not be everything. In fact, if they are, that's a sign that there's an issue in the parent, which is okay. There's an issue in many of us. But I bring this up because somebody called me and he was telling me how he's having problems with his child, and we got into a whole big discussion. And the details are really not that important. What's important is that it became very apparent after a couple of conversations that he needed to find his own happiness. He had his own life experiences, and the more and more fantastic he lives his life, the more and more he feels like a hypocrite. He feels like, look at who I was, and now people think I'm a good person. And I told him, I said, what are you talking about? This is amazing. You should be proud of yourself. You've come so far. You have a problem accepting a compliment. You have a problem accepting how great you're doing. And if you twist it just a little bit, you could be so proud of yourself. But instead, he was very, very focused on the fact that that coupled with the reality that some of his children are giving him certain kinds of problems, he feels like he's a failure. So it's all really about perspective. We see arrogant people think they're humble. We see humble people think that they're flawed. All it really comes down to is a person's perspective. And in this case, I can't really give any concrete advice on this specific topic except to work on oneself. Talk to yourself. Tell yourself how good you are, how much you love yourself. Look in the mirror, see somebody that you can like. But when we're raising our children, it's not a competition and we don't know how it'll play out. All we know is we give it our best shot. And if we're the kind of person that's okay when we know we did our best, we'll be okay when we did our best with our kid, regardless of how they come out and if they come out the way we wanted to or not. And our happiness will be independent of that. I'd like to wish you guys a wonderful day. Again, I'm here if you need me. Would love to hear from you guys.